Hey, welcome to Little Hollow Homestead this morning. Today we're going to chit our potatoes, get them ready for planting mid-April, end of April-ish, depending on the weather. So, chitting. The basics of chitting. Why do we chit potatoes? We chit potatoes to give them a head start. So as soon as we plant them, put them in the soil, they can take off. They've already started the growing process. They're just going to take off. So chits, the best kind of chit. Hopefully I'll be able to show you that in real time here in a few weeks. But you don't want big, long, leggy growth like the potatoes you forget about in your pantry and they come out with those big, long, ugly looking stems. Those are no good. Don't plant those. You want just little stubby, gnarly looking little nodules on each of these eyes. So first thing I do when I chip potatoes is, first of all, decide what kind of potato you like. For me personally, for my conditions, my climate zone, my soil, the things that grow the best are red Pontiacs and Yukon Golds. These are my go-tos. I love these potatoes. Family loves to eat them. The red Pontiacs store a little better than the Yukon Golds, but they're pretty comparable. I'm lucky enough to have found an old retired potato farmer who moved from Idaho back down to Utah, who still has a connection to get seed potatoes. So he goes up every year and gets a lot of seed potatoes straight from the source. You can't get any better genetics in your potatoes than what they grow in Idaho. So that's what I do. I get my seed potatoes from him. Make sure you get certified seed potato. Don't just go grab potatoes in the grocery store, plant them. They're not gonna grow. They've got a sprout inhibitor that they spray on these in the grocery store to keep them from sprouting, from chitting. So you don't want those. So if you're lucky enough to know an old retired potato farmer that sells seed potatoes, good for you. If you're not, Tractor Supply, Cal Ranch, there's all kinds of farm supply stores that sell seed potatoes. I'm sure you're aware of them. But pick the potatoes, the variety that you like, that you know grow well in your area. If you want to try a new variety and see if it does well, do it. I've done that to death. So I am sticking with the basics, what I like right here. First of all, when grabbing seed potatoes to chit, you want to make sure they're nice and firm, that they're not real squishy. It's important that they don't have any damage on them. You can grow potatoes from a damaged one, but I prefer to make sure they're good, whole, healthy potatoes like this. And then if you notice on the end, you want lots of little eyes, lots of eyes. And so that is a really good example of what a good seed potato should look like. Obviously, which one's going to grow the better potato? The bigger seed potato. If you can get all big seed potatoes, do it. If you got these little guys, I'll go ahead and plant these, and then I'll put one of these close by. Just, you might get a few decent ones off of that. But bigger potato, bigger yield, bigger end product, in my experience. Growing up, my dad we would cut seed potatoes. If there was an eye, we'd probably have 4 or 5 seeds or sets out of this one potato. You can do that. You could cut this in half and double your seed potato amount. If you choose to do that, and you can, cut it, but let them dry and let them scab over. Don't cut them and plant them in the ground because they'll just rot. You want that wound, for a lack of a better term, to kind of scab over and protect the seed so it can grow nice and healthy. I have found that if I plant the whole potato, I get bigger, better potatoes. So that's what I do. Like I say, you can split this if you'd like. It's up to you, completely and totally up to your own discretion. That's just what Little Hollow Homestead does. So there you go. Nice, good, quality seed potato is going to yield you the best results and the best, biggest, yummy potatoes. Okay, next thing you want to do, take your potatoes. If you notice on the end of this, you've got lots of little eyes, lots of eyes. So that's going to be the end I put up that is going to face the light. Number one rule, they have to keep cool and they have to have light in order to chit properly. So you arrange them in your tray. I pick the most eyes that go up. And I'll just stick these up make sure that the side of the potato with the most eyes is sticking up, getting the most light available. When they do start to chit, and you get a good looking chit on here and you've got time, I'll rotate them a little bit and see if we can get some more chits to go before it's time to plant. So try to maximize the number of chits that you get on your potato according to the number of eyes. But I always start with the most eyes up. So that's the next rule of thumb. I'll show you where I put mine to get them to chit properly. I got a head start. And I've got a full tray of Yukon Golds and a full tray of red Pontiacs already in here. This is just what I had left over. And it's as simple as that, putting them under a grow light. As you can see, I've got all my seedlings going here. I've just about got to up pot my tomatoes here pretty quick. You can see behind me right here, I've got a whole 6-foot table lined with solo cups, ready to pot up those tomatoes. I sell these at the farmer's market. That's where most of them will go. I grow about 18 out in my garden, but the rest will be sold at the farmer's market. So I grew 3 different varieties of those. Anyway, let's get back to potatoes. Potatoes, here we go. We're in the garage. They're on the bottom shelf where it's going to be the coolest spot in the garage, right? And I've got a grow light on them that stays on 24/7. You want to encourage those little potatoes to start that growing cycle as soon as you can. And I found that 24-hour light is the best way to go. You can do these in your house on the windowsill, but you take the risk of rotting potatoes because it's a lot warmer in the house than it is out in a garage or a shed. You don't want them to freeze, however, so you got to be mindful of how cool it gets wherever you're going to chit your potatoes. But there you go. We're going to let these marinate, do their thing. And we should have some chitted potatoes here in just a little while. And wait for the weather to turn just right so the conditions are ripe for planting potatoes. So there you go. That's the Little Hollow Homestead method of chitting potatoes. Potatoes are probably not the most economical thing to grow. You can buy them fairly cheap. However, I enjoy growing them. I enjoy the process. And I do it just for sheer enjoyment. And of course, the yummy homegrown potatoes are a little reward at the end. So I like doing that. Springtime, man, we are busy, busy, busy. I've introduced you to my baby chicks. I've got my first batch of meat chickens here. They're about a week old and they're doing great. Haven't lost a bird. Cross your fingers. I hope that continues. You can see now that it's warm enough, I'm fermenting chicken feed. I ferment chicken feed and hog feed. Not only does that boost nutrition, but it's easier for them to digest. And those probiotics, I guess that's what you call them, that are in the fermented grain, helps the digestive health of both chickens and pigs. So spring is up and running here at Little Hollow Homestead. We are busy, busy, busy. Eggs are just coming out our ears. The chickens are really producing well right now. We've got our 20 hogs out at our hog operation. They're running around being crazy, having a good time, and eating through the grain out there. So it's a busy time of year. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you are excited to get your hands back in the dirt, as excited as I am. And it's great to have the process started all over again. It seems just like a cycle that we go through every year. And we just kind of refine that cycle as we go. And that's what this is a product of, is just me refining my process on how I get my potatoes up and going for the season. So there you go. Thanks for coming along today and visiting me here. And until our next adventure, take care and see ya.